Ladies and gentlemen, our politics right now is like a pressure cooker that's been left on the stove too long. That's right. We're whistling, we're steaming, and we're one bad move away from spraying democracy all over the kitchen and scalding everything. Might even burn down the whole kitchen due to the climate of this situation. I'm proposing that we move the election day to next Friday. That's right, move the election day to next Friday, guys, because we might not make it. November 5th is a long ways away. People are losing their minds now. Take Joy Reid from MSNBC. She's always been a gaslighting liar. It's always been over the top.
I'm heartbroken that I didn't do better back then, knowing so many great people in the LGBTQ community.
But now she's saying that, hey, yeah, Trump got shot, but after they killed the shooter, why did he stand up and do his arm like that? What was he trying to say? What does that really mean?
We don't know why, for 9 full seconds, Donald Trump was allowed to stand back up during an active shooter situation, even though they, at that point, had said the shooter was down. How would they have known if there were more shooters or not? Nobody knew that there could have been 5 shooters for all they knew. Yet they allowed him to stand up in the middle of that, crisis and pose for a photo.
What? I don't know, Joy. Maybe he stood up because he's in front of a crowd of thousands and he's running for an election. And I don't know, he's been a showman for 40 years. Sort of like you've been a show person for 20 years. Because what you do is you put on a show.
Say when we won, when you have a football team and you didn't get any money, nor did you get the trophy. It's like they're acting like if Trump gets back on, that gives them something. They don't give you nothing. Why are y'all so exercised that Trump get back on? Do you need him? Is he your daddy? And also T-O and T-O-O are not the same thing. Sorry about that. That is my spelling reform part coming back out.
It's gone beyond that. That's not it. Like, that's bad. But what I'm saying is the Democrats are so upset that Trump is doing well. You can tell he's doing well because that's how upset they get. They get more and more upset. I don't know, man. It looks like she's got an intimate relationship with Joe Biden. I mean, something's going on there. It's got to be. Did you nurse Hunter? Like, did you care for him as a child? Like, did you nurse him as a baby? I'm just wondering because, I mean, there's a bitterness and the anger in the eyes with Joy Reid when she talks about Trump and talks about this election.
Because while I will never gaslight you, I'm not going to be out here saying that you didn't see what you saw last Thursday on that debate stage. You saw it. I saw it. Everybody who frantically texted me saw it. Because what I know is that Donald J. Trump cannot be allowed back into the White House. Full stop, period.
I got a clip where she sits at a table on live air and says, if you don't vote for Joe Biden and you're a man, you can't get a woman. That's why you're voting for Trump, or that's why you're not voting for Joe, because you can't get a woman. Or if you don't vote for Joe Biden and you're black or Latino, you're really white. You're like an Oreo, like you're white on the inside because you don't support Biden, Mr. White Biden, you support white Trump, or neither one. I know it sounds crazy, right? But that's what she said.
I mean, this is the Javier Milei election, right? I mean, and then in Argentina, that's how that went, which is that you had this coalition of, and not to be cruel, but, it was described as sort of an incel election. It was the young, angry men of Argentina who, they wanted a macho candidate. And it went along with policies like banning abortion, banning birth control, and, the idea of no-fault divorce. It all kind of goes together that you've seen this kind of election before. You see the same thing in Hungary. Like, the Orbanism of the party it's rooted in returning white Christian men, but also white men and white adjacent men, black men, brown men who are white adjacent in terms of trying to also be in that dominant position in society. And then you have women who are willing to go along with that, right?
Yeah, you heard that correctly, Johnson. You heard it correctly. She said that there are white men, incels, who are supporting Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a Republican, and most white men support the Republican. That's just how every election has gone since the 60s. Most white guys vote for the Republican. That's why the black vote is so important, because that's what happens. It's not an incel thing that's making white guys vote for Trump. They would already, whether it was Bush or Reagan or Trump or Romney or McCain, they typically vote that way. That's just typically what it is. So it doesn't have to be that they can't get none. Okay? Lame. That's very lame, first of all. Second thing, she said, not just white guys, but white adjacent. People that aren't white but are kind of white. Remember when I was cutting on Joy Reid and I was saying how she ain't black, she from her people from somewhere else? This is what I'm talking about. How can a black person call other black people with a political difference white? Biden's a white guy, Trump's a white guy. They both need suntan lotion. One obviously doesn't work because he's orange, and the other guy, I don't know. He's got spray tan. I don't know what this guy's got. Walking pneumonia, maybe. I don't know. But you get my point. How disrespectful is it for her to say that you white adjacent if you vote for Trump? Look, man, we got political differences. I tell you all the time, I don't support Trump or Biden. But I'm no fool. I'm not dumb enough to support Biden. He ain't done nothing in 50 years to really help black people. What makes you think he given another 4 years, he would do it now? I'm just trying to figure that out. He's been in office 50 years. Where's this key piece of legislation that was focused on black people? And don't just bring up this shit that just happened 2 years ago or 18 months ago with the Asian thing, with the ruling, with the Harvard or whatever, you know, with the race-based whatever. What about the other 49 years? Where is his policy? He don't have one. And he's had 49 years to do it. You love to bring up Central Park 5. You love to bring up these things about Trump. But nothing about Biden for 49 years. Where's his policy? Where's his policy he tried to do, but he couldn't do? And don't just tell me about George Floyd crime bill. Don't just talk about it. Don't stop framing. No one frames white people with just jail. Like, what about economics? Part of the reason why we got such jail problems, because we got such economic problems. But back to Ms. Reid. Also, Michael Steele. I don't want to hear again out of anyone's mouth how Michael Steele is the most reasonable Republican on cable news. He's a sellout, just like Joy Reid. He let her sit there and say that black men are adjacent to white men who are incels, all because they may support Trump. They weren't incels when they supported Obama. They weren't white adjacent when they voted for Obama. They weren't incels or white. They weren't white adjacent when they voted for Clinton. Now they are white adjacent. Another thing that she's leaving out is I saw a new poll, but you know what? Since it's coming from me, there are people that are watching, maybe new to the channel. They haven't gotten over their conditioning yet. Let Rachel Maddow say it.
Poll out today, a poll of African-American women showing a 31-point drop in support from 2020 to 2024 in terms of plans to vote for President Biden.
Can we rewind that one more time? Because last time I checked, it seemed like it was this fierce push to alienate black men just for a political decision. And also to divide black families about, because black men black men were looking at Trump and were interested in Trump. Very little has been said about this, Rachel Maddow. Thank you for saying it. I noticed Joy did not say it. One more time for the people in the cheap seats.
There was a poll out today, a poll of African-American women showing a 31-point drop in support from 2020 to 2024 in terms of plans to vote for President Biden.
Why do I see Joy's face shake, her head shake? Why didn't she say it? Why didn't you say it, Joy? It's news, sister. Why come you couldn't say it then? All your sisters, black Americans, because I don't want to put you in that group when You from Nigeria. Your parents are. But I mean, it matters, guys. It matters when you're doing this shit. When you're throwing black people under the bus like this. All I'm saying is, why come she couldn't say it? If she shook her head, that means she already knew. Why come she couldn't introduce that information? Why? Because you're going to lose cool points? Because black women don't want to hear the truth about other black women? That maybe, just maybe, black people will becoming just as discerning as white people when it comes to choosing who they're going to vote for. It doesn't mean they're going to vote for Trump. It just means they're not going to vote for Biden. Folks, make no mistake. Black women voted 95% for Biden. Now it's around 65%. 65%. I saw the poll myself. It is what it is, Johnson. This is the real reason why they're considering pulling Biden. It's really not they hate him, they're trying to destroy him. They don't really care who's in the seat, as long as they retain power. Let's grow up, guys. Let's not be kooky like that. Let's not accept this. Let's not accept BS narratives. They don't really care if it's Biden in place, as long as they carry out the agenda. You know what I'm saying? But if he's incapable of carrying out the agenda, if he's going to lose, and if they lose and Kamala's sitting right there, then black women will blame them that Kamala didn't get an opportunity. And if that's the case, they may be gone for good. They may be gone for good. A lot of black women don't take no mess. They've been carrying this party for the last 30 years. Maybe some of them are getting tired. People tend to get tired of carrying things, particularly when the payback ain't so much. I mean, it's nice to see Ketanji Brown Jackson do her thing, but, you know, it don't make my eggs boil. You know what I'm saying? It don't make my, my AC cut on. It don't make my gas prices lower. What'd it do for me? That's nice, though. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. I open up my mailbox every day. Don't got nothing on my Ketanji Brown Jackson check. I don't see no Kamala Harris check in it. Netflix still sending me a bill telling me somebody's using my Netflix account. Yeah, it's getting bad, Johnson. These people losing their minds. Now we got white adjacent. Black men are white adjacent. Now we white. Remember that when they were saying that? They said the same thing about Bernie. They said that don't know black people support Bernie. That's what they were saying. And it was the whole thing. And Bernie made me white. That was the thing. It was like a hashtag. People did in retaliation to them saying Bernie had no black support. And now we got Trump, and I guess Trump made you white too, because Trump made you white, because if you ain't a white guy, they're like, well, how could you possibly? It's a manipulation tactic. It's a low-down, dirty thing. I got people that watch the show, they're like, Tim, why you talk about race so much? How can I not talk about race so much? Look at the landscape. Look what they do. The president of the United States, kind of an influential person, was live on the broadcast and said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. But you say, I bring up race too much? The leader of the free world did that. We got cable news people. This was 24 hours ago, saying if you vote for Trump, if you black or Latino, you white adjacent. When Latinos vote 50% for Republicans anyway, nothing's really changed. They may have moved a few digits, but they've always been that way. They've always been split. So have Asians. Look, Donald Trump has won the election from his party 3 times in a row in 3 different cycles, right in a row. No one has ever done that. I mean, he's just a superior candidate to Biden, no matter how you slice it. And there won't be any mail-in ballots this time. Unprecedented amount of mail-in ballots went out. That's part of the COVID thing. They even got Biden in there. But Joy Reid and their crew, they are the worst. And they can't take it, man. They're going to lose their minds, man. I'm looking out for them. I'm looking out for you guys when I say maybe it's time to just front load this thing, get this thing over with. America may not survive 12 more weeks. What is it, 12 more weeks of this? I don't know, man. It's getting bad. It's getting bad. We got people shooting at people. We got people getting murdered at rallies. I mean, what else is going to happen? We got Joy Reid coming out here looking horrible. And look, and I think MSNBC has too long been overlooked for the type of quackery that they put on the airwaves. All the attention's always gone to CNN. Fake news, CNN, fake news, CNN. But I think we missed the boat here. I think the worst network by far, and it ain't even close, is the other white meat, MSDNC. If Trump wins, they ain't gonna make it.